Sam Chimenti here again for another Know Your Candidate. We keep changing locations, but this one's probably the most beautiful one I've gotten to do. I think this entire run that I've done, this whole series. We're at Mary Lake, beautiful area of town. The lake looks great. I haven't been out here in a while as a kid that grew up in this area. Yeah. A lot of friends in Mary Lake that I know. A lot of people in Mary Lake. Yeah. I'm with Ian Hill, who's running for Redding City Council. Ian, I gotta ask you, why Mary Lake though? That's actually a fair question. Do you live in the area?
I live in the next neighborhood over.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought this would just be a nice, quiet, beautiful spot to come do this. So
not too hot. It's really nice.
Yeah, we got the shade from these
True.
oaks. So it's just a nice spot.
And we'll dive right in with the first question. Easiest question you'll get from me is tell me about Ian Hill. What do I need to know about you?
I am a public servant, so I've worked at city and county levels, and then I grew up here. Family moved here in 2002, went to middle school, high school here, did some college here, and left for a little bit, but I've come back and I've been here for about 2 years now, since that last time, and I'm wanting to do some good, so.
So, as you just told me before we started, you went to college at UC Santa Cruz.
I did, yes.
I want you to tell me a little bit about that and what you learned from that. But first, just because I know people care about this type of thing, where'd you go to high school?
I went to Shasta.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
not too far.
Yeah. Funny enough, all the schools I've ever been to have started with the letter S.
Oh, fun. So middle school, Sequoia,
Shasta, then Shasta, and then Sacramento, Santa Cruz. They've all started with S, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, it's a good theme, I guess.
Yeah.
I like the S, Sam. So, fan of the letter S.
So, what was the question?
Santa Cruz. What did you take away from your time in Santa Cruz?
So Santa Cruz, what I really liked was that it was, it's smaller than Redding, but it is a very walkable community, has a lot of good transportation, really nice outdoors, just kind of like Redding itself. And it would be nice to bring some of those positives that Santa Cruz had here, and I think Redding could benefit from some of them. But I do know Redding is its own city in and of itself, so not everything will directly translate, but I definitely think there's some aspects that Redding residents would appreciate. So.
And with that said, with Redding as it is currently, and I always acknowledge that it's growing. As someone that grew up here, I've seen substantial growth in what's happening in this community. Just from when I went away from college and then came back, it was like a whole different town, especially in downtown.
Yeah, downtown is.
So what would you say? Would you say that's the biggest strength of Redding at the moment, biggest positive? What would you say it is?
I would say, we're kind of at this critical moment where we're transitioning from sort of this small town feel to a little more metropolitan, and kind of rightfully so. We are the heart of the Northstate. It's almost inevitable that we are going to get that growth as people come here and realize it's like a great place to be. So really sort of stewarding that and capitalizing on that to get the most out of it is something I would like to see for all Redding residents.
And then on the flip side of that, the problems of Redding, they're we list them a lot. It's the homeless, public safety, housing, which I guess ties into homeless.
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest shortcoming of Redding is at the moment?
Currently, I would say housing. That's one of my big platforms or issues I want to work on because so much ties into housing, economic mobility, homelessness, just even crime. I have kind of a background in criminal justice, and one of the things I learned, different ways crime can be reduced, and one of them is walkability. Just people being around decreases crime, and so having areas where people feel more comfortable walking around, or just having more people in a place because there's more housing, things like that, just naturally helps everyone in that area. So just so much ties into housing, and so I would really like to help more people get housing from all levels of Redding society, I guess.
Yeah. To make that more specific, what would be a good first step in making that happen?
I guess taking a housing inventory of what we have and sort of break it down by single family homes, apartment complexes, duplexes, kind of really understand what we have And then once we have that established, working towards seeing what we need. So I, for instance, I've been in other cities that have residential and light commercial mixed, like they have a local market in the neighborhood and things like that. And those are really nice. Residents really do like them. And also economically, the economic vibrancy of those communities goes up because of that, because they don't have to drive. They can just walk down the street to somewhere, and it's just really good. So specifically take inventory of what we have and then try and see where we need to go.
Where the shortcomings are,
Mm-hmm.
where the weaknesses are. I was doing a little research on you before we met, and you have like a campaign. I don't know if you want to call it the campaign slogan.
Yeah, it just
Chill.
Chill with Hill. It kind of came out as a joke, but not joke, because my platforms mostly started with those letters, and only one of them needed to be changed to make chill. And I was like, why not? So Chill with Hill. So C for climate, specifically fire and water for this area.
Yep.
Very big issues for us.
Yeah.
Housing. So housing for all residents, like we just talked about. I is for infrastructure. So that's going to be both physical roads, wastewater, just all that. And then also technological. So if we really want to capture businesses coming here, or any sort of more modern industries, or even the industries we have now could benefit. Technological infrastructure, fast internet, just connecting, all that.
Right.
And then learning for the first L, which would be partnering with local educators and also professionals, providing work training, job transitioning, things like that, so that we can retain the talent pool that we have, and also provide a talent pool for prospective businesses that might want to come here. And then the last one is labor, just protecting the dignity of all workers, making sure they have their wages protected, complaints they might have, make sure those are heard, just really helping out laborers in the area. So chill with Hill.
Kind of what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm also a very chill guy, so very easy to talk to. My door is always open. People can come talk to me.
Transparency.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a background in politics.
Not well, a little bit. In university, I was on governance board, student union,
Okay.
things like that. Not in the high public office, but I do have some experience with running and collaborating with different people and boards and things like that.
So what would you say is your biggest strength and makes you ready to do this?
Acknowledging that I don't know everything. I've definitely gotten to that point in my life where I've learned that I really don't know anything. Well, not anything, but
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Ian Hill, I know nothing.
I don't know anything. No. In being a good communicator, facilitator, I've learned enough for different areas that when these group of experts want to talk to these group of experts, I understand what they're trying to get across, and I can translate that to other people. And so I'm often the person that sits quietly and listens to everyone, and then I'll say something. And so that has proven quite effective for work, friends, random people that are trying to not get in a fight. So,
Well, with that said, I probably can connect that to my next question, which there's going to be a lot of turnover on the Reading City Council. There's 3 open seats, and so possibly, if DeQuisto does not win his re-election, there'll be 3 new faces on a city council that has fallen under the microscope in recent years for different things, different deals, different managements of situations that have drawn criticism. You're always going to draw criticism in public office. It comes with the territory. But in stepping into potentially a position where you're going to have 2 new people that you realistically don't know, and then 2 people we've never worked with before, how are you going to make that work? What's going to be your approach?
Well, the city council doesn't operate in a vacuum. They rely on city employees the city director, the directors of different departments. There's all these people that support the council. So you can rely on them for certain things. And then also the people that are already on the council, you pay them a bit of deference because they have been there for at least their term or half their term. And so they do know sort of the way of things and at least understand where they're coming from when they might reach out and say, hey, we actually do things this way or something like that. Because if you go in there thinking you already know what to do, that's not a great look, and that also doesn't help anyone initially. I'm my own person, so I will come into my own, but definitely in the beginning I would sort of take cues from people who are more experienced from me until I feel comfortable with that.
And with all the development that's happening, there's more to come. There's more conversations to be had. A polarizing discussion that isn't off the table still is the civic land deal and the property around the civic auditorium, the Sheraton and Sundial and all that. Drawing a lot of different viewpoints from both sides on that topic. So what would be your mindset with things like that in terms of significant change to an area that has relatively been untouched, but not just the civic area, but just in general? What's your mindset with changing the way things are, if you will? Are you open to that? Are you open-minded about drawing different people in and making adaptations to the way things have been done? Kind of this summary, I guess, of this: out with the old and in with the new, right? Kind of against the old guard. Is that something you're in favor of?
That's a good question.
It's one that people want to know. What's your, are you going to bring in the fresh ideas and push against what's been done, or are you going to kind of stay with how things have?
I mean, pushing against implies that it's all been bad, but it's not.
Of course not.
So it's kind of a little more nuanced than that. But yeah, I mean, just inherently, the council. I'm 31, and the council. Some of them are even more double than my age. So there's that inherent bias just by nature of being older or from a different generation. Often that comes with experience. So, there's two sides to that. But you also just want young people to be coming in and bringing what they have experienced so far. Also because you sort of need to train new people in these roles because unfortunately, we don't live forever, so you can't just keep having same people be there all the time. So there's certain things I would want to push on or push forward and push back on and things like that, but I do like some of the things they've done, and then I disagree with some other things. So
give me an example of a thing that city council has been doing that you would enjoy, you were in approval of, and that you would have done the same thing if you were on the seat.
So homelessness, them partnering with local partners to try and get things done or try different programs, things like that. That's something I'm in favor of, because getting housing for homeless people just helps everyone. It's cheaper than having police kind of go to them all the time. It's also kind of the moral thing to do. And there's just a lot of things that go in with that. And so I've definitely been in favor of what they've been trying to do with that type of thing.
To counter that, what's something city council's done recently that you were not in favor of?
The land deal was...
It's a hot button issue. That's why I like to ask it.
Yeah, it was more that it was kind of confusing to the average citizen, and I don't know if that's the way it was presented or just because of life information came out at different times, so things got confusing. And it created this whole situation that perhaps if it was clearer from the beginning, may have been better for everyone. And so that would be something I'd want to be aware of moving forward with things, is be really clear or be really open about things from the get-go. And especially if people they're not saying it's necessarily wrong, but they're saying, whoa, can we take 2 weeks? This feels kind of fast for us. If a bunch of people come and say that, it's like, okay, well then let's give you the time so you don't feel like anything is amiss or something like that.
Sure.
So that would be something I would like to do as well.
You're 31, like you said. I don't like to usually ask people's ages. I'll see if they want to say it on their own, like you did. But that also falls into a theme of a lot of these candidates, along with not having a whole lot of, or if any, political experience. They're young. For me, not that this is about me, or should I share my even opinion on this, I think that's me. And I think that's something that is needed across all politics. Younger voices coming in to give their perspective. What do you think about that? Is that an encouraging sign for Reading as a whole, that there are so many young people wanting to get involved and get their voices heard, whether it be in political aspects or business aspects?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think if young people don't do it or come into their own, then it just gets pushed back further and further. And then especially for politics, you do want the spectrum of residents who are here. If you, like I've said, even though they have lots of experience, if the city council is predominantly people of retirement age, that is just an inherent bias. Whether they mean to or not, it's just that's the nature of things. So having people kind of spread out, especially different professions as well, different backgrounds, just really helps to sort of catch any blind spots or anything that might otherwise be missed.
Well said. And then what is your, I don't think I've even asked this is usually a question I asked earlier. What is your main reason, though, for running for political office, especially at the ripe age of 31? That's a little earlier than some people would usually shift to council, as you're saying. It's a lot of older people, usually retired, things like that. So you're doing it at this age. Why, though?
So I've been a public servant for a while, working at a city level and a county level. And honestly, I find it far more rewarding to work for the community. And I saw then that this opportunity presented itself where 2 of the seats were just open. And I was like, you know what, why not? Let's do this. And so I put some stuff together. I got people to help me out with some things. And so far it's been pretty positive. I'm talking with people. A lot of people are quite open. It doesn't matter where they are on the spectrum or anything like that. At a local level, honestly, there's a lot more common ground because the issues are local. People know people personally. There's just a lot more understanding going on. And so I really like that, and being able to just talk with people and meet them where they are and where we might go. And I really like that. I know I keep repeating that, but
no, it's enthusiasm.
I do like working with people for the community to get stuff done with problems and issues that they present.
November 8th is election day. Is that right?
Yeah.
As I say it, I need to make sure I'm correct.
Yeah, the second Tuesday in November.
Second
November 8th.
Tuesday in November. So less than 2 months away now.
Yes.
It's coming quick.
Yep.
Talk about your campaigning, things you have coming up, events that you would want people to know about, how they can learn more about you. Is there a website? Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I have, not sure when this is coming out, but I have a meet and greet on Friday, September 30th at the Dip. It's called Chill with Hill.
Tomorrow. So I'll get. It's gonna come. This is coming out tonight.
Okay.
So.
All right. Yeah, and it's also going to be / my birthday kind of party. So if you want to, thank you. If you want to come out and just meet me, there's also going to be an anonymous question box. You can just drop questions in, and I'll take some time to answer them on the mic and things like that. And then, other than that, I'm going to this Shasta Environmental Alliance on October 3rd. I'm actually excited about that. I have quite a background in science and biology and things like that, so that will be really cool. And then after that, I'm just open. People who want to reach out, who want to talk, find me at the Dip.
On Facebook?
Oh yeah, and then on, so that you can find me at City Council Upon a Hill. A little bit of a pun in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like to play on words that we're doing.
Yeah, I like playing with words, and puns and such.
I'm a huge pun guy.
And so you can find me there. My email address is also CORITH22@gmail.com. You can shoot me an email if you have a question or if you want to meet up or anything like that. And after this week, or Monday rather, it's kind of just meeting with people and seeing what they want to talk about.
Can I ask why you haven't put any signs or anything out?
I'm poor, so yeah.
Honesty, man, I like it.
Yeah, I'm starting to get some donations for that, so I'm excited that this weekend, hopefully, I'll actually either get them printed and put up, or at least printed, and then I hope to put them up, so that people can actually see me. And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is people just really don't know I'm running.
Right.
And so
That's why I'm here to help.
Thank you.
No.
And I'm just trying to get the word out. So
Right.
Excited for that. And they're pretty good.
I've seen some of the stuff on Facebook. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the vibes.
Yeah, kind
very
of
70s retro,
yeah,
for
color
sure.
Vibes. So
Fundraising is a big thing. I haven't really asked it in the last couple know your candidates that I've done, just because it's pretty late in the game.
Yeah.
Fundraising at this point is like very last second if you're trying to do like fundraising events or raise money. But that is something that creates an advantage for some and a disadvantage for others in terms of getting the money together, because it's local. It's the city council. You get your donations fundraising just from people opening up their checkbooks or their wallets, which might not be that easy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely grateful for all the people who have donated, even if it's $10, $15, that allows me to have, 8 or 12 flyers to hand out.
Sure.
And that honestly is a huge difference when you're meeting people. So, even though it's not as much as I've heard some of the other amounts people have raised, but I am still extremely grateful for what people have donated.
And the Chill with Hill at the Dip tomorrow.
Yes.
What time is that at? I don't know if you said
sorry.
that. No,
yes,
you're good.
That's at 7 o'clock. And then it's just kind of gonna go till they kick us out, basically.
I like the Dip a lot.
Yeah.
It's a cool spot.
Yeah.
They used to have the arcade games in there during COVID. I don't know if you went in there during that time.
Yeah, they did.
That was cool.
Skill, SKL, I believe, was the proprietor or whatever of that.
Yeah.
And they still have some, but
They do. Pinball.
yeah, but now
Suck
they've.
at pinball. But Chill with Hill tomorrow at the Dip. If you're watching this video on Thursday night or Friday morning, don't worry. You have time to go meet Ian at the Dip and then meander around downtown. It's a Friday night. Fun vibes on Friday nights in downtown Reading. But I appreciate you taking the time to meet with me. Like I said, beautiful spot.
Yes.
Good choice. I might just start telling the rest of the candidates I got 2 more to meet. Just meet me at Mary Lake.
Yeah, the benches. It's really nice, quiet. It's good.
I like quiet.
Yeah.
I shoot for quiet.
So I'm cool, I swear. So, come chill with me.
I say that all the time to people. Like, I promise you I'm cool. Please hang out with me. Ian Hill, everybody. November 8th is election day. Get ready. It's going to come quick. So best of luck, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.